As COVID-19 cases continue to rise unabated, emergency personnel are bearing the brunt. Health workers have expressed concerns about limited resources as the country enters the peak season. South Africa has now recorded over 75,000 COVID-19 cases with around 3,602 deaths. Now, to discuss in detail the challenges faced by emergency personnel during this time, I'm now joined by Mpho Mpogeng, who is the South African Emergency Personnel Union President. Thank you so much for talking to us, Mpho, this afternoon. Let's just start here. Give us a picture of how things are looking on the ground for your members.
Thank you for having me. Let me indicate that it is quite difficult for us to operate these days. As the union operating 24/7 as we speak, because we receive calls from all corners of the country, various provinces. Our members are complaining about the conditions of service, shortages of PPEs, the intimidation that they get from their managers. It is quite hectic because you receive a call around 11 o'clock. After getting that information, you have to talk to the managers during the night. Some, they don't pick their phones. You'll never find them because of one thing. Our managers are, actually, let me indicate that this COVID-19 is actually exposed the level of understanding and the level of intelligence of our managers. And it is clearly indicated that our managers, they are not actually up to standard. Their leadership skills, their planning is very, very poor. Why I'm saying this is because their planning is actually poor, is not responding positively towards the virus itself. Initially, we proposed to them that it would be quite proper for them to have a certain team that will be specifically or that will respond to COVID-19 patients. They didn't do that as we speak. So as we speak, all the ambulances are just transporting the patients from one corner to another. I'll give an example about the one incident that happened in Valvater, in Limpopo, where our managers, where one of our members tested positive. And after that, the situation was just normal, as if nothing has happened. The station of that particular area, Valvater in Limpopo, operated normal. And we were surprised. Maybe in EMS we are immune from this COVID-19 because in other areas we have seen police stations closing and other areas closing because their members tested positive. But in the EMS, 2 or 3 people tested positive. It's business as usual, and when you talk to the managers, they'll tell you that they are currently working on the issue of communicating the station, but nothing is being done. So they'll deal with the communication after 2 to 3 days, while people are already working in that particular station. And while they are on the very same process of communicating to the station, there is no, the station is operating. They don't close, they just operate as usual. So we don't know as to whether the EMS is precluded from this virus or is immune from this virus, because we are doing things completely different. And while we are experiencing most of our members as we speak, they are positive. They are testing positive. Whoever is testing is testing positive, including ourselves in the head office. We just decided that no, there is a need for us to close, even though we don't have one who tested positive, because people they come in numbers in our offices, and obviously those people are at the front on the front line, so they might actually bring that thing to the staff in the head office. That's why we took a decision of closing. Again, we also had a situation in Val, Gauteng, where the manager was aware that one of the employees tested positive, but he decided to keep quiet and he didn't alert others. So they picked it up after some time, after a day or two, to realize that one of their own is not coming on duty. And when they made contact with that particular person, it confirmed to them that he tested positive. So you can easily see that the way in which our managers are handling this pandemic, I believe that we are not going to win it. It's just a clear indication that our managers, they lack competency to run the station. Yeah, even though we must also talk about the PPEs. In Val, after complaining to them, talking to them on several occasions, is then that they delivered, yesterday, they delivered the PPE. You will imagine why, after some time, while this COVID was actually all over, is now that they decided to deliver the PPE. So we can easily see that, let me come back to my way, or let me reiterate on what I've said in the past. I said the department is not ready, and these are the repercussions of what I've said, because now our members in all corners of the province, we lost a lot of members in Eastern Cape, we are still losing in other provinces. So that is a clear indication that our members are vulnerable and no one cares about them. The department doesn't even have a proper plan. They are frustrated in a way. They don't know how to deal with this. But unfortunately, part of it, they're trying to be big. They're not actually listening to us when we're saying, come up with a tangible plan. We are there to assist you.
If I can come in there, Mpho, please. If I can just come in there. My apologies. I know that you want to make your point there, but I just want to just probe 2 or 3 things that you've just said now. Are you telling us that after a member tests positive, there is not even deep cleaning that is done in that particular space where they are working? Is that what you're saying?
It's what is actually happening. Because I'll tell you why. If one is tested positive today, you take 3 days to come and clean the station. And while you are cleaning the station, the very same station is fully operational. So what does that mean? And you see that according to I'm not a virologist, I'm not an expert, but according to my best knowledge, the station must be closed and people must be tested, and so that when they clean the station, all these things will be. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
You charge and people are coming in. What is actually happening? We're frustrated about what they are doing because it's not what in line with what is expected from them in a way.
And if you engage management at this point, because you are a representative of your members, have you tried to raise these concerns?
Let me tell you, this thing is not a joke. When you raise that with them and say, no, people tested positive and what is and that, they'll say, no. One of the managers in Free State responded directly and said, hey, leadership, you must be careful. These people are lazy. They don't want to come to work. That is why they'll complain about this thing randomly. But someone tested positive. So you'll easily see that the managers they lack that sense of agency. So this thing is there and we need to deal with it. So when members are complaining to them, they will raise the issue of laziness. So, no, you want to do the self-quarantine because you don't want to report on duty, this and that. So we can easily see that they lack that lack of agency on these issues. And we contacted them and they know very well. I think each and everybody, all the managers, including the district and the station managers, including the MECs and HODs, they know that I can call at any given time. As soon as I receive a call, I don't even hesitate. I call them directly and say, no, this is the situation. Come and deal with this matter. And in other provinces, you'll get proactive MECs, but in other provinces, you'll just get people who are just sleepy.
And
Mpho,
if I can also come in there, let's look at the issue of safety, because there have also been concerns that some of the paramedics have in fact come under attack when they try to respond to some of the communities. How is the situation looking like now?
Yeah, since these lockdowns, I think we experienced less than 5 attacks, if I'm not mistaken. We experienced, which means the number actually dropped from the normal number that we know. So maybe because police, we have a lot of roadblocks, the soldiers and so forth, but I think we experienced 2 or 3 since then. So for now, the challenge that we're having, or the biggest challenge that we are facing, is the issue of shortage of PPE, the intimidation from the management, and poor decision making from the managers. So this is what we are facing now.
And let's talk about the issue of resources. I know this is not a new issue. It has been coming up year on year. And even when we had that incident at the Bank of Lisbon building, it did come up again to say that, you know, emergency personnel are not properly equipped to be able to carry out their duties. Are you prepared as EMS when it comes to your members, when you're looking and doing an assessment across the country? Are we prepared to respond, particularly as, you know, we are being told, and even now you can see that we're seeing a spike in our cases?
Let me reiterate on what I've said. Initially, when this issue of COVID-19 started, I had made mention that the department is not ready. We've been having shortage of ambulances. We've been having shortage of equipment, including the gloves, literally the gloves. So now, because the MECs and the minister wanted to be popular, they think that they are ready. I can tell you that in other provinces, members, like, let me give you a practical example about what is actually happening on the ground. In the past, people used to get their gloves, their whatever equipment from the storeroom. But currently, we have managers or shift leaders who come to the station to give only 4 gloves to the members, 1 for per person. So you can easily see that these people, they are trying to manage something that they don't have. So it's a problem to them. So
and in 30 seconds, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you there. In 30 seconds, can you give us a picture of how the provinces are looking in terms of, you know, equipment, particularly as you say that MECs are coming out to say they are ready, but they're not? Which are the worst provinces that you're looking at right now to say that they're not ready?
Let's start with the Limpopo. Limpopo is the west, and the second one is Eastern Cape. And those are the 2 provinces that, for now, it is just a matter of God. Northern Cape, because Northern Cape, they never had ambulances from the start. So it's just a matter of God because this pandemic is not that high in that particular province. But those 3 provinces, they don't have equipment. I know for a fact that they don't have. So you can easily see that in other provinces like Gauteng, they have vehicles. And in terms of equipment, like meaning the gloves and the PPEs, they were not having enough. I must indicate that because in Val, they just received them a day before yesterday. They received them yesterday. So they have ambulances. And in Limpopo, they don't have ambulances. They just cut and paste. And the current days we speak, those provinces that I've made mention of, like Limpopo, because they don't have enough vehicles. Those ambulances that they are having now, they are used to infect other innocent people because they are doing collective transport of patients. We find that ambulance is overloaded and they transport more than 40 patients. Some of them they are COVID-suspected patients. So obviously that ambulance is used to share or to spread the virus on its own.
And